In this lecture, I am going to show you how you can make a design modeler as your default geometric system, and then we are going to create some basic shapes using the sketching as well as modeling tools present inside design modeler. For that purpose, I am going to go to the component systems once again, going to drag this geometry component system and place it on the project schematic. Now what I need to do is, one thing is I need to go to the tools and go to options. So in the options there is a option known as the geometric system. Here there is a geometric system, so you just select this geometric import, and in this geometric import you can select this preferred geometric editor. From this you can select our preferred geometric editor to be design modeler instead of space claim modeler. So once you have selected this one, you can just press OK. So now once you have selected that particular option in the tools, you right click on this geometry cell. You see now instead of showing space claim geometry modeler on the top, it is showing design modeler on the top. So now what I am going to do is I am going to just select design modeler, so that the Ansys workbench will open design modeler module. And the foremost thing you need to do once you open this design modeler is you need to set the units. So right now if you see the ruler here, you can see the units are in meters. Then you go to the units option here, and I want to change my units from meter to millimeter, so I'm going to select millimeter here. So once I select millimeter, as usual in any CAD system, we need to select a plane and we need to create a sketch on that plane, and then we need to apply the modeling options such as say extrude, cut, and other such a type of options. This is the same procedure that is followed here in design modeler as well. So for this purpose, I am going to select the XY plane, or let us say I am going to select ZX plane, which will be my top plane. Then I am going to switch to the sketching tab. So in this sketching tab, you will have access to all the 2D sketching tools that are present inside design modeler. Like see, in the draw group, you will have access to line, tangential line, polygon, rectangle, and other sorts of 2D sketching entities. And then in the modify group, you will have access to all the modification commands which are used to modify 2D sketches. Then you come across dimensions, then geometric constraints and settings as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the draw group, and I'm going to select rectangle, and I'm going to select one starting point here and an ending point of the rectangle here, so that a rectangle is created in design modeler. Now what I need to do is I need to dimension this particular rectangle. So in order to dimension this particular rectangle, I need to switch to dimensions group. So I have switched to dimensions group. In the dimensions group, see, I always opt to use this general dimensions tool, so that this is the one tool that can be used to create any type of dimension. It may be a linear dimension, it may be angular dimension, it may be a radius, or whatever the type of dimension. You can use this single tool in order to create many types of dimensions. So I generally prefer to use this general dimension. So I've selected this particular tool, and then I'm going to select this particular line, and I'm going to select this particular line. And if you see, first of all, I've dimensioned this line, and it has been indicated as H1, and this is V2. So H means it is representing that this line is horizontal, and V means this line is vertical. Then 1 means, so in both of the dimensions, I have created this dimension first, and I have created this dimension second. So whenever you create the dimensions, it is going to place this type of alphabets as well as this type of numbers, showing type of entity it is, and the number is in which order you have dimensioned. So once you have selected you have dimensioned these two lines, see here in the details view, you will have this H1 as well as V1 represented here. So from here you can just edit the dimensions. Let us say the dimensions are 50 mm by 50 mm. So I've created the dimensions. Now what I need to do is I need to exit the sketching mode and go into the modeling module. So for that purpose, I just need to switch from sketching mode to modeling tab. And once I switch from sketching mode to modeling module, here you have the options like extrude, revolve, sweep, skin or loft, and etc. So I'm going to use the extrude option. So once I select the extrude option, here in the details view, it will ask you what is the geometry for which you want to apply the extrusion option. So I need to select the sketch from this tree outline. So previously I have created the sketch on the ZX plane. I'm going to expand this ZX plane and I'm going to select this sketch 1 and then select apply. And once I select apply, you need to give the depth of extrusion, whether it is 30 mm, 50 mm, 20 mm, 30 mm. So I will leave it to default. If you want to change, you can just click on here and you just enter whatever value you require. And once you have entered the value, you need to just right click on this particular feature and say generate. So once you generate the feature only, it will be applied. Then this is how you can do extrusions. So if you want to cut a hole in this particular part, then you need to go to hole and you create a hole here or circle here, and you need to extrude cut this particular material. So as like in other geometry softwares, you cannot directly select this face and create the circle for the hole. What you need to do is, first of all, you need to create a plane on this surface, and once you create the plane on this surface, then only you will be able to draw the sketch and you can apply the extrusion cut option. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and create a new plane. So I have selected to create a new plane, and the plane name is plane number 4, or you can just select this one and rename like my plane. Whatever name you can give, no problem. And it is asking us what is the base plane. So in order to create a new plane, we should give some references. So here what I'm going to do is I want to say create a plane on this particular face. So I'm going to select, instead of from plane in the type, I'm going to select from face. Instead of from plane, I'm going to select from face. So once I've selected this from face, then it is asking me which face is going to be reference face for my new plane. So I need to select this from this particular geometry. So what I need to do is I need to select here I need to select this particular option, and then again I need to select this particular face and say apply. So now you can see there is a new plane known as the my plane has been created on this particular surface or face of this particular object. So I'm going to right click and say generate. So once I have generated this particular plane, I'm going to select this plane and I'm going to go into the sketching mode, and I'm going to select the circle, and once I select the circle, I can draw the circle on this particular face. So then again I come back into modeling tab and I am going to select the extrude. So it is asking me once again, it is asking me what is the sketch entity for which you want to apply this extrusion option. So I'm going to expand this my plane, then I'm going to select the sketch number 2 and press apply here. So once I have selected this particular sketch 2, it is showing me a preview. See, if you are going to add material, it is going to be added in this particular direction and the object will look like somewhat like this. So instead of using that add material here in the operation, I can choose to cut material because I want to remove the material. So I have chosen to cut material, and see what happens. The direction has been reversed automatically because we are going to remove material. So once I have specified the direction and cut material option, now what can I do is I need to specify the depth of cut. So as this is a 30 mm block, I can leave this 30 mm to default. Then I can right click and say generate in order to create the hole. So this is how you can use the same option to extrude or add material to a sketch, and as well as remove material from an object. So likewise you can have revolve option, sweep option, skin option, loft option, etc. So in the next lecture we are going to see how to use the revolve, sweep and the skin loft option in Design Modeler of Ansys. Thank you.